Frederick. Frederick, can I get a picture with you? Nice, Cody. It's Code.
Why are you scared? David, come on! David, you want to make pictures?
Look at it! Nice haircut. We look like twins.
Yep.
Look, twins. Yeah. You can't even tell us apart. Yeah.
Now over to our right here, this house is used for a show called Lethal Weapon. It is a production office. So all of these houses here are used for the writing and editing team of these shows. So over to our right, that house is also used as Hannah's house in Pretty Little Liars, the exterior there. Then over to our left here, you might see some names on some of these doors, like Young Sheldon, which is a prequel to the Big Bang Theory. They are using that office right there for the writing of that show. The show Shameless has a house right over here. By the Book, which is a new show coming out, has these two houses over here. Another show that we have here called The Fosters also has another house. So a lot of variety with these areas, and as well too, in the newer Muppets films with Jason Segel, we have this area here as a little trick-or-treating area. So we put lights on these houses, we put extras in the background dressed up in costume, and we can have this look like a nice, normal neighborhood. But actually, these are all offices. So over to our right here, we're going to be entering our jungle, which is a very unique area. It's probably my favorite area of the
be here. Oh my god.
Not welcome.
You wish you would have sat in the middle of Alright, I'll tell you guys a little bit about our jungle here. We have a lot of kind of supernatural shows like Supernatural on the CW. We also have Vampire Diaries. We're able to film in kind of jungle areas like this to make it look appear all creepy and spooky. This little stretch of road right here to this dirt path, we use in a movie called Jurassic Park, if any of you have heard of it. There is a scene where Jeff Goldblum is sitting in the back of the Jeep. He says, must go faster, and then the T-Rex is chasing him. Now that little scene was actually done on this stretch of road right here. They just turned the Jeep around, turned the camera around. A lot of other scenes were filmed in Hawaii, but we did have a few scenes filmed right here. Now straight up ahead here we have this cabin, or actually this house, but the house, if you notice, doesn't really have a full roof. Most of the walls do not extend anywhere, and that's because it's called a facade. We only film on the front of this building. We never actually go inside. There is no room inside. There are no rooms inside, and the rooms would be on the other side of our lot. We have the dining room, the kitchen, all that. Just outdoor scenes, we film right here. Now this cabin up ahead is a little bit different. We actually do film inside of there. So we have a film directed by Clint Eastwood, who also stars Clint Eastwood, called $1 Million Baby. Also has Hilary Swank. And with this is Ivor's Roadside Diner during a part of the film where they get a slice of lemon pie. Also in another show called Dexter. This is a killing cabin. So there's a huge murder scene that happens right here in this beautiful little cabin. Alright. Goldblum is saying must go faster. Alright, we are going to exit the lovely jungle here.
Oh, who's that?
Who's
that?
Alright, so we're going to enter a few more areas here of our back lot. Wanted to mention a couple of things. You guys probably saw a little close-up, maybe a little too close-up, of some of their makeup. Hair and makeup and costuming is a huge part of every single piece. So even though we have all these nice set pieces and we have all these nice areas to film, we need our actors to look the part as well too. So if we're going to have someone be Freddy Krueger, then we need him to look like that. So we're going to spend hours and hours putting on pieces of makeup. I mean, I'm wearing some makeup right now. I mean, this only took 15 minutes because it's kind of like the bare minimum of what they can do. They're going to add on pieces on top of this that could add in a couple extra hours. Even if they have shows where a character has the same tattoo in every episode or every scene, they're going to have to add that tattoo in every time they come in for hair and makeup. So it's a long process, but a very important process of every TV show film piece. I don't know if any of you guys saw the It house that we have here. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, we're actually going to be passing by on the back side of it. And back side of it right here. And, ooh, air conditioning vents. But that house is actually very cool. That is actually the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. That film has been doing so very well. We're going to have a sequel to it coming out in a couple years too, done by New Line here. So very cool experience that we have there. I don't know if you checked out the Conjuring house. Very spooky as well too. Now over to our left here, guys, this is another set of production offices that we will use for filming as well too. So we'll put some names and numbers on the door, have it be an office complex, be an apartment complex, or even have it be like a Holiday Inn or something. Anything that we need to. And we can have a big dead body in there for shows like The Mentalist or Dexter or Pretty Little Liars or literally just about any show that needs a scene like that. Now this area over the street, built back in the 1930s for some of the gangster films that we were doing. Now over to our back right over there, we use that building there as the casino entrance for a film called Ocean's 13. Now previously for the other Ocean's films, they actually did go to a real casino and shut it down, but that gets so incredibly difficult to do. With these areas, if you have to shut down a street or shut down a building, it's going to be very time consuming and very expensive. So what we're going to do is we're going to just build our own, use it whatever we need to for as long as we need to and not have to worry about things like that. Hennessy Street here, we can transform to be any big city in We can have this be Philadelphia in an episode of Pretty Little Liars. We can have this be Chicago in Shameless. We can have this be just about anything. Oh no. These tour guys. I know we sell booze here, but he has some drink in here, buddy. Let's see if she needs any help. Did you?
Don't tell anyone about this review. Wow, my goodness. You guys, can we just let's switch? Let's switch. You want to switch? You sit here. I'll take the rest of your tour. I can give a tour. I can talk about. Have you talked about the fact that they filmed Annie right here? This is where this whole street is named after Dale Hennessy, who was posthumously nominated for an Academy Award for his art direction on the street. She talked about Rent. She talked about the Newsies. She talked about Friends. Did she? We can switch. Seriously, let's do this. Come on, come on. Please don't tell anyone about it.
See you later, friends.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Did you talk about Batman?
I did.
Put plexiglass all over the street. When Mr. Freeze freezes over Gotham. This is Gotham!
This is Gotham.
We can switch, please! Don't tell anyone!
Okay, I'll tell the manager that later. So coming down. We've got a little scene from a movie called Gremlins over here as well, too. In the very beginning of the film, he goes to get his son Billy a little present from Town, and this is the area that he comes to get that present, to get his home. And so they decorated this to look like Chinatown. Again, any part of the world. They have a bunch of extras walking around, making it seem like a much busier area. They have lanterns all over the place, lighting this up. So, literally, this town can be transformed into anything. We do a bunch of commercials here. In 1992, we had a Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial there for the song Party Rock Anthem by the group LMFAO. Their music video for that song was done there as well. Like she mentioned, we filmed scenes from both versions of Annie, the original 1982 version and the Disney version. So many different titles have shot there over the years, and we continue to use it and change it up every single time we do have a production there. For a while, we did have a production a couple months ago called The Greatest Showman on Earth. It's going to be starring Hugh Jackman. It's going to be coming out very soon. What they did is they covered up that entire street with dirt and sand. It was more of a western piece that they were shooting there at the time. And if you have this parking lot over here, they put green screen around it, put kind of like a desert scene in the middle, so that way they could film in the middle of this parking lot and have that green screen around and add all the effects in afterwards. This parking lot too in the show ER, which was on for 15 years, a pretty big show that we did here. This is a helicopter landing pad on the rooftop of the hospital. So what they did is they had a helicopter landing pad right up here on the ground, put green screen all around it. So in post-production, we added in the Chicago skyline, so that way it looked like it was on the rooftop instead of actually on the bottom floor here in a parking lot in Burbank. So little things like that we do to change up these environments. They don't actually have to go to the rooftop in Chicago. Now up this way here, on the top up there, you will see our water tower. It stands 132 feet tall, absolutely massive. And guess that there's absolutely no water in it whatsoever. We actually drained it back in the 70s, and now the Animaniacs actually live in there. Pretty cute. It's a nice little icon for our studio. A lot of studios here in Burbank and Hollywood do have water towers, so we kept ours, and it has a nice WB shield on it, so that way everyone knows kind of where we are and what we do. Now, coming on over this way here, right down this alleyway right here, we have something called Sound Alley, and this is where a lot of our scoring stages, our re-recording stages are as well. Very down at the far end that way, Clint Eastwood actually has his own recording stage here. Speaking of Clint Eastwood, he actually did a scene here from a movie called Bloodwork in the early 2000s, where he chases a serial killer right down that alleyway right there. Coming out along this way too, we're going to be entering the oldest section of our back lot, built back in the 1920s. This little street right here is called Brownstone Street. And if anyone's seen some of Alfred Hitchcock's films, Dial M for Murder shot a little scene right here on this street as well. He is kind of like the king of all of those horror and thriller films. And so I got a little scene done right there. Even a little scene from Friends and Pretty Little Liars shot on that street as well too. Now this area over here in New York Street, we use this theater area quite often just simply because it is so beautiful, it is so picturesque. And I don't know if anyone saw a little movie called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, but this area here was actually used in the, is that Baby Jane Hudson herself?
I've written a letter to All right, he's chasing. He is chasing us. We're gonna have to move right along. Guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It is way too dark and scary, and I don't like anything that's going on right now. Okay, all right. Are we safe? We're safe? We made it? Oh my God. Okay. We made it. It is totally fine. Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry about that. So, in the jungle, you can see we've got this house right over here. This is the house of Allison De Laurentiis from season 1 of Pretty Little Liars. She is the one who started it all. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got this lagoon. It is currently empty, but it can hold up to 270,000 gallons of water. This lagoon can turn into any body of water we want. All we have to do is change the food coloring. We want to make it into a river, an ocean, a lake, a swamp. We change the color of that water, we have our river or our lake or our ocean. There are also heating coils on the very bottom, so we can actually heat the temperature to a nice 85 degrees, so our actors are never cold or uncomfortable. Guys, over here we have this cabin. This cabin is probably best well known as being the cabin from the series finale of Dexter, the lovable serial killer from the Showtime TV series. We're gonna have to go ahead and slide on right by here. Oh my gosh! Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Oh my gosh, okay. Wow, all right, okay. All right. We all caught our breath. We've all caught our breath. Now, guys, what's pretty amazing about Warner Brothers is that one of the ways that we're able to create a spooky environment is actually by manipulating the seasons themselves. For example, right now we're in California. California doesn't really get a fall. We don't really get a springtime. But let's say that we wanted to create a really creepy fall foliage. What we would do is we actually have our greens department, and what they're going to do is they're actually going to go up. They're going to go up into the trees, and they're going to individually pick each and every leaf off of that tree that's going to appear on camera to give you the appearance of a fall. Now, guys, let's take the exact opposite season, winter. Let's say we're trying to create a creepy winter scene, like from The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. What we're going to do is we actually have a business that we can call. They are called Snow Business, and they're going to bring in real snow by the truckload, and they're going to snow out the entire area. Now, guys, using real snow is better than using any of the fake stuff because, number one, it is real snow, and real snow will act as its own insulator, so it's not going to melt nearly as fast when it's over 100 degrees out on a backlot or like an area like this, and we're trying to create a wonderland scene. Now, if we're trying to snow out a small area, we actually have a special effects department, and they can use what's known as paper confetti, or they can use what's known as blocking, which is what you might see on Christmas trees, or they can even use crushed ice to cover that small area. In some cases, they might even use chicken wire and cotton balls as well. So again, there's tons of different things that they can use to manipulate the seasons for winter as well as for fall. Now, guys, we're going to go ahead and turn in on the left-hand side, and what you're going to see is a brand new backlot. And this backlot is called Park Place. Now, guys, Park Place was originally built to look like office buildings. However, at this point in time, it is primarily used for audio purposes. And this is what I mean when I say that. Let me see if you guys can see this, or at least hear this. You guys hear that reverb? Right here in this area is where we shot a lot of the audio for Godzilla's Roar from the 2014 film Godzilla, which starred Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson. As we pull out of Park Place, we're heading into a brand new area. And this area is called Hennessy Street. Now, Hennessy Street was created in the 1930s. It was originally built to look like a Depression-era New York. However, it has played other cities for film and TV, like Los Angeles and Chicago. Hennessy Street was also the home to many gangster films, like Angels with Dirty Faces, The Big Sleep, Little Caesars, starring two of our heaviest hitters, Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney. One of the main reasons why I like to bring up the gangster genre is because of this simple fact. In the 30s and 40s, if you ever watched a movie from that era, a gangster film, and you saw a shootout between rival gangs or just people in general, they were using real bullets. Blanks were not invented until the 50s, so they had to hire marksmen to intentionally miss the actors, so the actors were put in real danger the entire time. Guys, I don't know what's happening in front of us, but it looks a little strange. I'm kind of hoping that she's okay. Let's go help check her out.
Have you seen my tour? I was just driving along. We were talking about Annie. We were talking about The Mask. This was Stanley Ipkiss's apartment from the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey. You guys saw it, right? He comes right out of the apartment. It's flat. He lands right on the ground. He says, "Look, Ma, I'm round."
Guys, this is what happens when you don't wear seatbelts.
I'm a great tour guide.
This is what happens when you don't wear seatbelts. We're going to go ahead and turn the corner. And as we do so, you might hear some music. Right over here on the right-hand side, we actually have the Gremlins Curio Shop from the 1984 film Gremlins. Now, this movie was only shot in 33 days, and it was written by a gentleman named Christopher Columbus, who you might recognize as the director from Home Alone, as well as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, these Gremlins were done and created using all practical effects, which means they were all either animatronics or puppets. And the voice of Gizmo was done by none other than Howie Mandel, who you guys might recognize from America's Got Talent, as well as Bobby's World. Over here in the corner, we've got what's known as Tenement Alley. And in Tenement Alley, a very famous scene from the movie Spider-Man was shot with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. I am, of course, talking about the very famous Upside Down Kiss scene. Now, guys, during that particular... Now, Wes Craven actually came up with the name Freddy Krueger from a childhood bully. It was the acting debut of Johnny Depp, believe it or not. Over 500 gallons of fake blood was used in that movie, and Wes Craven ended up coming up with those iconic claws by watching a cat. Believe it or not, Courtney Cox was originally supposed to be in the film. She auditioned for the role of Nancy. However, they ended up giving it to someone else at the end of the day. Guys, welcome to New York Street. New York Street was created in the 1930s, just like Hennessy Street. Over here, you're going to notice this subway station, which is right in front of us. I like to call that subway station the subway that leads to nowhere. There is nothing on the bottom. It's basically a giant cellar, and it is primarily used for background holding. Now, what I mean by that is you have background actors that are going to be going down those steps. Then, they're going to be given instructions to come up the steps and basically walk around the entire location, at which point they will go back downstairs, and there will be a costume change. They're going to change costume. They're going to come back up the steps. They're going to walk around this entire location. They're going to repeat the process. This is exactly what we do when we don't have enough people to completely fill out an entire city-like area like New York Street. We're going to be reusing the same people over and over and over again. Again, movie magic at its best, everybody. I know, I am so sorry that I completely ruined it for you. Believe it or not, we're actually staring at a practical set. A practical set that is right in front of us is known as the Daily Planet from the 1990s TV series Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. A practical set is basically an area that can be filmed from both the inside and the outside. We don't need to go to a soundstage to do any serious filming because everything we need can be done from within that location. You can include your actors, your lights, your cameras. Whatever you need to do can be done from within this area. Guys, as we turn the corner over here on the left-hand side, we are going to see the actual theater that was featured in the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, starring Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. As you can see, we've got Baby Jane Hudson serenading us right over here. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Instead of a stamp, I put kisses. The postman says that's best to do. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you.
Oh, hello. I'm Baby.
Oh, shut up!
Oh, there's Hudson, Miss Big Stinging Rotten, famous Hollywood actress.
Please, you have to help me. She's trying to kill me.
You have it coming.
You're a wretched woman. You killed my baby
hair.
bird. She fed me my bird for lunch.
And that's not all I'll do.
She's horrible. Please take me with you.
Get off my
Please.
seat. I've had it the next time I'll put
Oh,
you in a
you're making me
wheelchair.
crazy.
I'm probably in a wheelchair. Get out. And all of you are next.
Baby Jane Hudson, everybody. Let's give her a round of applause. Fantastic. Guys, over here on the left-hand side, we have the actual House of Wax from the horror film House of Wax, which starred horror film icon Vincent Price as Dr. Henry Jarrett. He plays a gentleman that gets trapped in his own wax museum and is left burning alive, and as a result, he is horribly disfigured. This would be Vincent Price's first foray into the horror film genre, and this particular movie would make him a horror legend. He would later go on to produce films with horror films with various other studios, and he would be the inspiration to many different directors and big shots like Tim Burton. We got Radley Sanitarium. You're actually correct. You're absolutely right. Radley Sanitarium can be seen right over here on the right-hand side. And as you can see, it looks like we might have somebody who is trying to escape the sanitarium. And she is right over here. Go ahead and take a look.
Get out of here. What are you doing here? Go away. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this?
Oh, no.
No,
We're gonna go ahead and go on back in this area. You're fine. Guys, over here on the left-hand side, we have this graveyard. This graveyard is actually a very popular place for lots of movies and TV shows. It has played a graveyard on Pretty Little Liars. It's played a graveyard for the TV series Pushing Daisies, as well as the TV series Eastwick. And as you can see, we've got some leftover zombies from both areas, which are right over here. Now, guys, we're heading into our front lot. Our front lot is where most of the magic happens. This is where we have all of our sound stages. We've got 30 sound stages here at Warner Brothers. We're currently passing by stage 25, which is currently home to the Big Bang Theory, the most popular TV show on the planet, and that's not even an exaggeration. By the numbers, they get the most viewers. All the main characters are basically making friends money at this point, if you can think of it in that way. Over here we have stage 20. Stage 20 is currently home to the TV series Mom, which stars Allison Janney and Anna Faris. And over here, as you're going to see, we're going to pass by stage 26. Stage 26 is currently home to 2.5 Men. 2.5 Men, as you can see, has their own plaque right over here on the left-hand side. We actually call stage 26 the 2.5 Men stage because they utilized this stage and they filmed on this lot for about 12 seasons. Now, guys, I am going to have to go off mic for a brief moment because, as you can see, we've got some blinking red lights over here on stage 21, which means that we're